The cold Atlantic water hit me like a freight train, swallowing me whole before I could even scream. My son's face, twisted in that final, triumphant sneer, flashed above me as the ship's lights blurred into nothingness, his hands shoving me over the railing with the casual cruelty of discarding trash. I died knowing I'd funded every damn luxury on that floating palace, only for him to whisper, "No room for you, Mom," like it was the punchline to some sick family joke. But death isn't the end when you've got unfinished business. I woke up gasping in my king-sized bed in the Hamptons beach house, the silk sheets tangled around me like a noose I hadn't quite escaped. It was June 15th, 2024, 3 months before the cruise I'd booked for the whole family, back when I still thought blood meant loyalty. My heart hammered as the fog cleared. I'd been given a do-over, crammed back into this 48-year-old body, veins still humming with the rage of betrayal. I sat up, staring at my reflection in the vanity mirror across the room. Same sharp cheekbones, same laugh lines etched from years of pretending everything was fine. Brinley Hargrove, real estate mogul, single mom who clawed her way from a trailer park in Jersey to owning half the skyline in Manhattan. But that face? It hid the scars. The ones from burying my husband's scandals, from raising a son who turned out to be a viper in khakis. This time, I wouldn't play the martyr. This time, I'd burn it all down. The first thing I did was grab my phone, thank God for muscle memory, and pull up the cruise confirmation email. There it was, the Grand Atlantic Voyager. A week-long escape to Bermuda I'd splurged on with my bonus from closing the Tribeca deal. 50 grand, all in, for my son Ethan, his wife Lila, their 2 spoiled brats, my sister Carla, and her deadbeat husband. I'd framed it as a celebration of my empty nest, but really, it was me begging for scraps of affection from people who'd long since checked out. Ethan. Just thinking his name made my stomach twist. In my first life, or whatever you call the one that ended with me bobbing like chum in the ocean, he'd orchestrated it all. The accidental fall after too many cocktails, the quick story to the Coast Guard about my depression and slippery deck. He'd inherit everything, the houses, the portfolio, the life insurance payout that dwarfed the cruise cost.
But why?
I'd given him everything, tuition at Yale, the startup seed money that bombed spectacularly, bail after that DUI cover-up I paid for with a favor from a crooked judge. I needed answers.
And fast.
Slipping into yoga pants and a cashmere sweater, because even in rebirth, comfort was non-negotiable, I padded downstairs to the kitchen. The place smelled like fresh coffee from the autobrew, a perk of the smart home system I'd installed last year. Or was it this year? Time was already warping. I poured a mug, black, and sank into the island stool, firing up my laptop. First stop, Ethan's texts. I'd always been the cool mom, the one who had access to his accounts just in case. Password unchanged, Ilovelila 123. Pathetic. Scrolling back, the red flags hit like gut punches. Late-night messages to some burner number. She's clueless about the audits. Once she's gone, we liquidate. Audits? What audits? Digging deeper. I hacked into his email, nothing a quick phishing reset couldn't handle, thanks to my network of IT guys from the office. There it was, a chain from 6 months ago. Ethan and Lila plotting with a shady accountant named Victor Slade. Dad's old firm, the one I'd folded into my empire after Pop killed himself in '09, leaving behind a mountain of embezzled client funds. I'd taken the fall quietly, paid off the regulators with settlements that nearly bankrupted me, all to protect the family name. Ethan knew. He'd been interning there at 17. Witness to the ledgers pop fudged for those Wall Street fat cats. But this? Victor's reply. The offshore accounts are clean now. Your cut's wired. Just handle the loose end, her. Loose end.
Me.
They'd been siphoning residuals from those hidden pots. Millions I'd slaved to legitimize. Ethan wasn't just ungrateful. He was a thief. A murderer in waiting. All while I played the doting grandma, wiring him cash for unexpected expenses. Rage boiled over. Hot and clarifying. I slammed the laptop shut, but not before forwarding everything to a secure drive under a pseudonym. Revenge wasn't a tantrum, it was a scalpel. Step 1. Fortify my position. I called my lawyer, Marcus Hale, at 7 a.m.
Sharp. Bryn.
To what do I owe the pleasure? His voice was gravelly from cigars, but sharp as ever. Marcus, I need an airtight postnup for Ethan and Lila. Prenup revisions. Actually, wait.
No.
Make it a full asset freeze if infidelity or fraud surfaces. I paced the marble floors, the ocean view mocking me through the floor-to-ceiling windows. And audit my holdings. Discreetly. Tell me if anyone's been dipping. He chuckled, but I heard the wheels turning. Playing hardball with the golden boy? What's got you spooked? Just a mother's intuition.
Lie.
But Marcus didn't push, he never did. By noon, he'd have PIs on it. Next, the office. I drove the Tesla into the city, windows down, wind whipping my hair like a war cry. Hargrove Properties HQ loomed on Park Avenue. All glass and steel, my fortress. My assistant, Jenna, greeted me with her usual espresso and agenda. Brinley, you look rested. Big plans, always. I smiled, but inside, I was mapping kill shots. First meeting, the board. I'd always been the benevolent dictator, but today, I eviscerated the quarterly report, zeroing in on anomalies in the commercial leasing, fingers pointed at Ethan's consulting side gig. Explain this, Tom. I snapped at the CFO, sliding printouts across the table. His face paled. He'd signed off on transfers I now knew were funneled to Victor. By lunch, 2 resignations were in. Controversial? Hell yes. Whispers of power trip would circulate by happy hour. But it bought me time. Allies. Jenna pulled me aside after. That was badass. Ethan's gonna ship bricks. Let him. I winked. But my mind raced to the next play.
Carla.
My sister. The enabler. Always whispering in Ethan's ear about how I owed the family for Pop's sins. She'd been on that cruise too, toasting my generosity hours before the shove. Was she in on it? Blood or not? I'd test her. Evening found me at our usual spot, the Palm, steakhouse dim and clubby, where deals were sealed over dry martinis. Carla arrived late, Botox smooth and Chanel scented. Her laugh too loud as she air-kissed me.
Sis.
What's with the urgent dinner?
Spill.
Over fillets. I probed gently. Ethan's been
Off.
asking about the old accounts. Dad's mess. Her fork paused midair, eyes flicking to her wine.
Bingo. Oh.
Honey, he's just stressed. Lila's pregnant again, surprise. She beamed, but it cracked at the edges. Pregnant. In my first timeline, that miracle baby had been the excuse for more money grabs. This time, I'd use it. I feigned concern, squeezing her hand. I'm happy for them. But if he's in over his head, we protect our own. The we hung heavy. She nodded too quickly, deflecting to gossip about her husband's latest affair. By dessert, I'd planted the seed. Tell Ethan to come see me. Family summit before the cruise. She agreed, oblivious. Driving home under the Brooklyn Bridge lights, I felt the first thrill of control. But rebirth was a mercy. It was a loaded gun. And I was learning to aim. That night, dreams dragged me back. The decks sway. Ethan's cologne mixing with salt air. His whisper as he leaned in. You always said sacrifice builds character.
Mom.
This is mine. The splash. The silence. I woke sweating, but resolved. Tomorrow, I'd call in favors from the streets, old Jersey contacts who'd owe me for not ratting on Pop's crew. Revenge wasn't clean, it was Jersey gritty. American as apple pie a la mode with a side of arsenic. By week's end, the net was tightening. Marcus's audit confirmed the siphons. 2 mil gone. Traced to a Cayman shell Ethan controlled. I didn't confront him yet. Patience was my new virtue. Instead, I revised the cruise manifest, subtly booking a surprise cabin for myself, adjacent to theirs. Let him think it was goodwill. Let him sweat when I showed. Ethan called Friday. Voice oily smooth.
Mom.
Carla said you want to talk? Everything okay? Perfect.
Kiddo.
Just excited for Bermuda. See you soon. I hung up, smiling at the lie. Soon, he'd learn what no room really meant. The Hampton summer heat was a beast, turning my beach runs into sweat-soaked interrogations with myself. 2 months until the cruise, and I'd transformed from grieving ghost to ghostwriter of my own reckoning. Every jog along those pristine dunes, I'd replay the timelines, the one where I drowned in denial, and this one, where I drowned Ethan in his own bullshit instead. First order, dismantle his empire from the shadows. Ethan's startup, that fintech app peddling crypto scams to boomers, was a house of cards. I'd seeded it with a cool million, calling it Faith in You.
Now.
I called an Elena Vasquez, my forensic accountant from the Pop days. She met me in a Tribeca cafe, her laptop scarred from too many all-nighters, eyes sharp behind cat-eye glasses. Bryn, this is amateur hour, she said, sliding over a dossier thicker than a Bible. Your boy's laundering through NFTs, wash sales, fake valuations. Victor Slade's the bagman. He's got priors from the '08 crash. I traced a finger over Ethan's headshot. All ivy polish and fake smile. How deep? Deep enough to bury him. But if you pull the thread. She trailed off, sipping her Cordideau. The if was the controversy gnawing at me. Expose him. And the feds drag in Pop's ghost, my name splashed across headlines as the enabler. Again. Or let it fester. Strike surgically on the ship. Moral high ground? Screw that. Survival was gray as the Long Island Sound. Give me leverage, I told her. Irreversible. By dusk. I had it, encrypted files. Witness statements from jilted investors, even a recorded call where Ethan bragged to Lila about inheriting the throne early. I stashed it on a burner drive, hidden in the beach house safe behind a Rothko print. Ironic, since art was the one asset he couldn't touch. Next.
The family web.
Carla was unraveling faster than a cheap sweater. I invited her for girls' weekend at the vineyard. Our old ritual. Jet skis by day, rose by night, but this time, I dosed the air with truth serum, subtle questions laced with wine. Mom was a bastard, she slurred one evening, stars pricking the sky like accusations. Pop. I mean, did you know he didn't just cook books? He framed Uncle Ray for the kickbacks. Ray ate a bullet because of it. I froze, glass halfway to my lips. Uncle Ray, the brother I'd idolized. The one who taught me to sail before the cancer took him. Pop's mistake. I'd shouldered? It was murder by paperwork. And Ethan? He'd found the letters last year. Ray's suicide note hinting at the setup. That's what fueled his hate, the family curse he blamed on me for not spilling sooner. Why didn't you tell me? I pressed, voice steady as the fairy horns in the distance. Carla shrugged, tears smearing mascara. You were the golden child.
Cleaning up.
I just survived. Survived by pimping Ethan's grudges, feeding his delusion that I was the villain. By Sunday, she was hungover and hooked, swearing loyalty, spilling Lila's secrets, the affairs, the fertility scams to lock in Ethan's payout. She's poison.
Bryn.
But he loves her blind.
Blind.
Like I'd been. Back in the city, I tested Carla's vow, had her accidentally leak a tip to the SEC about Ethan's app. Nothing fatal, just enough heat to make investors pull out. Ethan's frantic voicemail hit that night. Mom. What the hell? My funding's drying up. You pull strings downtown. I called back. Cool as a cucumber salad. Tough market.
Han.
Come over. We'll brainstorm. He showed. Disheveled in chinos and a polo strained at the seams, stress eating.
The bastard.
Over takeout tie in my penthouse. I played the sage. Maybe diversify. Or talk to Victor. He knows sharks. His eyes narrowed. Fork pausing. Victor's busy. Family stuff.
Lie.
Victor was holed up in Atlantic City. Per Elena's tale, burning cash on blackjack. Ethan's dirty money. I leaned in, all maternal warmth. You're my legacy, Ethan. Don't screw it. He bought it, hugging me stiffly at the door. But as he left, I glimpsed the safe house feed on my phone, Lila pacing their Brooklyn brownstone. Phone to ear. He's cracking. Push the cruise plan, end it there.
Push.
The word echoed like waves crashing. Lila, the schemer supreme, yoga instructor turned gold digger. With a rap sheet I'd just uncovered, bounce checks from her wellness cult in LA. She'd whispered the doubts in Ethan's ear, convinced him my hoardings starved their future. Controversial decision number 2. I didn't warn him off her.
No.
I amplified it. Anonymous text to his phone. From a ghost account. Lila's seeing Victor. Check her Venmo. Seeds planted. Let paranoia bloom. Work became my war room. At Hargrove, I greenlit risky deals, warehouse conversions in Red Hook, eco-hotels in the Keys that tied up liquidity, starving Ethan's access. Board meetings turned bloodbaths. Old guard grumbled about my recklessness, but profits silenced them. One exec, a silver fox named Reed Callahan, who'd always eyed me like dessert,
pulled me aside post-meeting.
Brinley, this fire, it's sexy, but dangerous. What's chasing you?
Reed.
Divorced.
Discreet.
With ties to the DA's office from his prosecutor days. I waited, ally or liability, over bourbon in his office. I cracked the door. Ghosts. Family ones. You ever bury a body to save face? His laugh was low, appreciative. Metaphorically,
Twice.
want a third shovel. By midnight, we'd struck a pact. He'd loop in a friendly judge for any emergencies, and I'd owe him dinner. Or more. Flirtation as fortification, very American, very me. As August scorched in, the cruise loomed like a guillotine. I booked flights, faked enthusiasm in group chats, can't wait for pina coladas and family pics. Ethan replied with emojis. But his posts on X, formerly Twitter, reeked of desperation, rants about boomer greed and legacy traps. His followers, a mix of crypto bros and wellness warriors, egged him on. One thread caught my eye, him quoting some Ayn Rand knockoff about cutting dead weight. Dead weight.
Me.
I screenshotted it, added to the file. But the real gut punch came mid-month, a doctor's visit. Routine checkup. But the scan flagged something, a shadow on my lung. Probably nothing, the quack said. In my first life, I'd ignored it until the cruise, when the cough turned to blood mid-dinner. Cancer. Stage 3 by then. This time, I'd fight, but it fueled the fire. No dying quietly. I told no one, except Reed over that dinner, steak at Keen's, cigars after. His hand on mine was steady. We'll beat it. And them. We sealed it with a kiss in the cab, hungry and hurried. Not love, yet, but ammunition. Intimacy as intel. He shared DA whispers about Victor's gambling debts. Ripe for a squeeze. September brought storms. Literal and not. Carla confessed over coffee. Ethan asked me to drug your drink on the ship.
For the fall, he said.
Lila's idea. Make it look like an OD. Her voice broke. But I saw the calculation. I'm out.
Bryn.
Testify if it comes. I hugged her, whispering,
You're now.
or you're next. She nodded.
Pale.
Betrayals echo chamber, how many layers. Ethan's birthday bash was the test run. I threw it at the beach house. Catered lobster. String lights. A playlist of his favorites from college. 50 guests. Influencers and investors. All to showcase his unraveling. He arrived wired. Lila on his arm in a dress that screamed trophy. Hugs exchanged, but his grip was limp, eyes darting to his phone. To Ethan, I toasted, clinking glasses. May you always land on your feet. The double entendre hung. Lila choked on her bubbly. Later, buzzed guests milling. I cornered him by the fire pit. Heard about the SEC sniff. Need a lifeline? He stiffened, firelight carving shadows on his face. You set me up? Would I?
Lie.
But his flinch confirmed. The Lila texts had hit home. Paranoia's a bitch. Son. Fix your circle. He stormed off, Lila trailing with venomous glances. By dawn, guests gone. I found her lipstick-smeared cigarette, but by the pool, a habit she'd hidden. Poison ivy for the viper. 1 month out. I'd slimmed the guest list subtly. Carla sick, her husband work. Just me, Ethan, Lila, the kids. Intimate.
Deadly.
Reed gifted me a panic button disguised as a bracelet. For the what-ifs. I wore it like a talisman. Packing for Bermuda. I paused at the safe.
Pulling the drive.
Copies emailed to Marcus, Elena, even a journalist contact at the Post Insurance. The cancer shadow? Biopsy scheduled post-cruise. Chemo if needed. I'd live to see him cuffed. Boarding day dawned crisp. JFK, a zoo of harried travelers. Ethan waved from check-in. All smiles for the kids.
Mom.
Ready for adventure? His hug felt like a straitjacket. More than you know. As the plane climbed, I closed my eyes, tasting salt air and memory. This time, the fall was his. The Grand Atlantic Voyager was a floating farce of opulence, marble atriums, infinity pools, and waitstaff who smiled like they meant it. We boarded in Miami under a sky bruised purple. The kids, little Mia and Theo, oblivious cherubs, squealing at the balloon arch. Ethan slung an arm around me for the obligatory photo, his grip a vice disguised as affection. Family first, he murmured, but his eyes screamed checkmate. I'd upgraded to a suite one deck above theirs, veranda views, stocked bar, a safe big enough for my burner phone, and the drive's thumb version. Lila shot me side-eye as we toured the ship. Her spa day plans a thinly veiled escape. Brinley, you spoil us, she cooed, but her manicure dug into Ethan's arm like claws. First night dinner was theater, captain's welcome, lobster bisque, and small talk that clawed at my throat. The kids babbled about the waterslide. I nodded, sipping Chardonnay, watching Ethan across the white linens. He'd aged in these months, crow's feet from sleepless schemes, a paunch from stress pints. Business booming? I asked, innocent as Eve. He forked his steak, jaw tight. Ups and downs. But the app's pivoting, big VC interest.
Lie.
Elena's last update, lawsuits stacking like Jenga. Lila chimed in. All yoga glow. Ethan's a visionary. We manifest success. Her foot brushed his under the table. Mine itched to stomp. Post-dessert. The kids to the nanny club. We hit the deck bar, stars wheeling, steel drums pulsing. Martinis flowed, loosening tongues. Remember Dad's cruises? Ethan slurred, leaning on the rail. He'd get seasick. Blame the curse. The curse. Pop's shadow. Ray's ghost. I seized it. Speaking of curses, I found those letters.
Raise.
About the framing. His drink paused. Lila's laugh tinkled false. Ancient history.
Mom.
Let it go. But his knuckles whitened on the glass.
Why?
Because it implicates you now. I dropped it soft. A pebble in the pond. Ripples, his flush. Her glare. The audits.
Ethan.
The money. I know. He straightened, ocean wind whipping his collar. You don't know shit. You buried Dad's dirt. Now you're clean? Hypocrite. Lila tugged him away, hissing, Not here. They vanished into the night, leaving me with the waves' whisper. Victory tasted like bile, controversial, exposing the rot in front of the kids' bedtime stories. But mercy was for the first timeline. Alone in my suite, I activated the bugs, tiny mics and gifts I'd left, a keychain for Ethan, a necklace for Lila, courtesy of Reed's gadget guy. Feeds crackled on my laptop, their cabin, voices low and lethal. She's onto us, Lila spat. Abort? No, Ethan growled. Push harder. The railing tomorrow, storm's coming. Kids'll think it's a game. My blood iced.
Storm.
In my death, it had been calm seas. My accident clean. This, weather as weapon. I forwarded the audio to Marcus ashore. Prep warrants. Victor 2. Sleep evaded. Instead, I plotted countermoves. Dawn brought squalls. the ship pitching like a drunk. Breakfast skipped, nausea from chemo ghosts. I cornered Carla via satellite call. She'd stayed back. Flew, but really my sentinel. They're plotting the push tonight. Get Reed moving.
Done.
Feds inbound Miami tomorrow. Hold tight. Her voice cracked, sister's guilt. By noon, the storm raged, decks slick, pools sloshing. I found Lila at the gym, downward dogging in neon spandex. Join me, she purred, but her eyes were daggers. Why not? I mirrored her, hamstrings screaming. Between breaths. Ethan tell you about the baby? Or the other ones? The ones that weren't his? She faltered, pose crumbling.
Lies.
You're desperate. Am I? Check your Venmo. Darling. Victor's tips add up. Her face drained. I'd seeded those transactions weeks back. Anonymous wires. Paranoia primed. She bolted, leaving me to Savasana in sweat and satisfaction. Afternoon. Kid wrangling. Mia clung to me during arcade chaos. Theo napping on my shoulder. Love you. Nana, she mumbled. The knife twist. Innocence in the crossfire. Controversial? Using grandkids as shields? But war had no timeouts. Ethan found me at the rail as thunder grumbled. Horizon black. Walk with me. His tone brooked no argument. But I followed. Bracelet buzzing, silent alert to read. We paced the promenade. Rain spitting.
Mom.
This cruise. It's closure. He stopped. Facing me. Sea spray beating his lashes. For Dad.
For Ray.
You carried it all, too long. Closure. I laughed. Bitter. Like shoving me overboard? His shock was genuine or feigned masterfully. What the? That's insane. Is it? I heard you. The drug. The fall. Audio bluff. Let him squirm. He lunged. Not violent, but grabbing my arms. You hacked us? Bitch. The mask cracked. Boy, I raised. Twisted by greed. I twisted free. Voice steel. You're done.
Ethan.
DA, it's over. Rain sheeted now, blurring his face. But surrender. And maybe the kids keep their dad. He shoved, harder than intended, my back slamming rail. Pain flared, but I held. No room for you, he echoed his future self, eyes wild. Not in our life. Twist, sirens wailed, not storm, but ship alert. Security swarmed, tipped by my anonymous bridge call, manned overboard threat. They hauled him back, cuffing loosely. Ma'am, you okay?
Fine.
Family dispute. Lila burst through. Kids in tow. Hysterics scripted. But Mia wailed for me. Not him. Med bay check. Bruises. No breaks. The doc eyed my chart. Cancer flag from pre-boarding. Stressor out. I waved it off. Evening cleared. Storm broke into stars. Ethan in holding overnight. Cooling off. Lila cornered me in the hall. Feral. You ruined us.
No.
Honey. You did. I slipped her the necklace, bug active. Wear it for the memories. Nightcap with read via video. Fed stalking dawn. Victor's nabbed in AC your tip. His smile warmed the screen. Proud of you. Bryn. Ditto. Connection lagged, but intent didn't. Sleep came fitful. Dreams of splashes unresolved. Day 3. Interrogations. Captain's office. Ethan lawyered up via sat phone, my dime. Ironically, he glared through the glass as I passed. This isn't over. It is. But doubt crept, the cancer? The kids' confusion. Mia asked at lunch, Daddy bad? I hugged her tight. Just lost. Nana's here. Lila vanished mid-afternoon. Lifeboat drill her cover. Feeds showed her smashing the necklace. Then calling Victor's burner. Plan B. Tonight. Victor. Arrested? Bluff or deeper web? I rallied, texted Carla coordinates for Coast Guard pickup. Read. She's fleeing. Interpol on it. Controversy peaked. Extradite the daughter-in-law? Kids collateral? But justice was a bitch too. Sunset deck. Confrontation. Ethan released on good behavior, sulking with scotch. Lila reappeared, feigning tears. Brinley?
Please.
For the family. I faced them. Rail at my back, irony noted. Family? You killed it. Audio rolling via hidden phone.
Confess.
Or the files drop your scams. The murder plot. Pop's frame on Ray. Ethan cracked first. Ray deserved it, snitching prick. Dad covered. You enabled. Venom spewed. The hidden secret. Ethan's teen discovery of Pop's Ray setup. Twisted into you let him die to save skin. Lila sneered. And your cancer? Karma. Twist knife. Karma's you? In cuffs. Sirens, real ones, chopper thump overhead. Feds repelling. Badges flashing. Chaos. Ethan resisting. Tasered. Lila shrieking. Zip-tied. Kids shielded by crew. Mia's cry my anchor. As they dragged him, he spat. I did it for us. No, I whispered.
Close.
For you. Ship locked down. Statements taken. I watched from veranda as Miami lights pricked the dark. Rescue. Not ruin. The aftermath hit like a hangover after Armageddon. Ship quarantined till dawn. Feds swarming like ants on a picnic. I bunked with the kids in my suite. Theo's tiny snores a lullaby against the chopper whir. Mia curled against me, whispering, Nana save us? I kissed her curls, throat tight. Always. Peanut. Interviews dragged, my statement crisp, backed by audio gold. Ethan's? A meltdown, blaming Lila.
Me?
Pop's legacy of lies. Lila lawyered silent. Her manifest crumbling under perjury lights. By sunrise, they choppered off to holding. Kids airlifted to Carla's, my orders. Custody papers Marcus faxed overnight.
Me?
I stayed aboard. Ship resuming course under enhanced security. The captain offered complimentary everything. I took the spa. Steam room confessions to no one. Bruises bloomed purple on my arms. Mirrors mocking. Reed called mid-massage. Charges stick. Conspiracy. Fraud. Attempted. Victor singing like Sinatra. And the Ray angle? Pop's frame job. Ethan's twisted justification. DA stigging. Could reopen as accessory. His paws hung. You okay? Cancer cough tickled. I swallowed it. Healing. We talked logistics, my return, his visit. Dinner when grounded? Promise sealed. Bermuda docked late. Paradise mocking the purge. I wandered alone. Pink sands, rum swizzles at Horseshoe Bay. Tourists laughed. I traced footprints, pondering the twist I'd engineered. Revenge delivered. But hollow, Ethan's eyes in cuffs. Not triumphant, but broken boy. Had I birthed the monster? Or just fed it? Texts flooded. Carla. Weepy thanks, Jenna. Office cheers. Elena. Justice served. Boss. Read. Heart emoji. But Ethan's lawyer emailed pro bono plea. He wants to see you. Before arraignment. Controversy Claude. Forgive? Or salt the earth? I flew commercial back, first class, but grounded. Miami, to JFK. Window seat staring at clouds like second chances. The biopsy waited. Results tomorrow. Live or die? I'd choose. Arraignment in federal court. Manhattan, gray suits. Fluorescent hum. Ethan shackled. Orange jumpsuit clashing his pallor. Lila separate. Bail denied. He looked up as I entered the gallery. Eyes hollow. Mom. I sat front row. Voice low through glass.
Why?
You never let go. The money. The secrets. Raise blood on us. Delusion intact. I fixed it. You broke it. I slid a note. Custody terms for kids. My terms. Sign. Or lose them.
He did.
Trembling. I'm sorry. Too late? Or cede? As bailiffs led him. I felt the shift, rage ebbing to resolve.
Outside.
Reed waited. Coffee steaming. How'd it go? Clean cut. We walked to the plaza. Autumn crisp. Dinner tonight? His grin. Thought you'd never ask. Weeks blurred. Chemo infusions. Board acclamations for my visionary risks. Hargrove thrived. Me leaner but luminous. Kids' weekends therapy funded. Stories sanitized. Mia drew super nana capes. Theo babbled bad guys gone. Ethan's trial loomed winter. Plea deal brewing. 20 plus. Lila flipped. Testifying for leniency. Victor?
25.
No parole. The Ray file reopened. Pop's estate clawed back for restitution. Headline screamed, Real estate queen topples son's empire. Controversy fodder. Me painted dragon or damsel.
Both.
American Dream. Nightmare remix. Twist came Thanksgiving. Ethan's letter from Rikers. Smudged ink. You gave me the push I needed to face it. Hate me, but thank you. I burned it in the beach house hearth. Ashes to wind. Forgiveness? Not yet.
But space.
Reed became fixture. Dinners to weekends. His steadiness my harbor. Cancer? Stage 1. Caught early, rebirth's gift. Clean scans by New Year. Toasts with champagne and him. Cruise refund? Donated to raise scholarship fund. Jersey kids like me. Clawing up. No more voyages. Landlocked suited this Brinley. 1 year on. Hampton's deck. Sunset gilding waves. Kids building castles. Reed grilling. Carla sober 6 months. My phone buzzed. Ethan's appeal denied. Final. I raised a glass to the horizon. No room? Your loss. The unexpected? Not death's return, but life's rewrite.
Mine. And damn.
It felt good.